Hey Hotshots, Jess with Emotional Fire Academy here today to talk about claiming your inner hero today. Welcome to my channel. This is a place where we train heroic consciousness so that you can do extraordinary things in life and make suffering optional. It's my new tagline. What do you think? Let me know what you think, my subscribers. As you know, I'm pivoting, so if you like that tagline, let me know. If you have any other ideas how I can polish it, because I feel like it's not quite there yet. I'm trying to get the perfect words for what we do here. We train heroes. That's what we're all practicing this every day, myself included, first responders included. This is something even first responders struggle with. They get burnt out, they get tired, they get overwhelmed, they get trapped in old coping mechanisms like alcoholism and withdrawal and anger and other things. So this is something we're all doing every day. I work on this too. So I want to talk about the qualities of a hero so that we can kind of define it, because it helps to, hero, we say the word hero to people, it's got a different meaning for everyone. And I found this great article. It's called Heroic Consciousness, What It Is and How to Acquire It by Scott Allison. I will post the link to this blog post below because it's really fascinating. This gentleman takes a more academic approach to heroism. He actually wrote an article in Heroism Science. There's such a thing. I was amazed to find that out. So he lists 4 traits of the hero. I'm going to boil it down to 3 and kind of put it in my own words and what we've already been talking about on this channel. That's amazing. I've accidentally been teaching you heroism, how to be a hero, every video. Amazing. It's kind of funny. I was already calling it Emotional Fire Academy, so that vein was already active. But anyway, I digress. All right, so what are the qualities so that we know what it is, so that we can then recognize it in ourselves? We can recognize our own heroic consciousness, because that's what we're going to be talking about on this channel from now until infinity. Well, until I pivot again, whenever that is. But what is it? What does it mean to be a hero? I think we all have like these pictures of heroes in our mind. And everybody can be a hero. You don't have to be paid to be a hero. Again, everyone is doing this. Number 1, out of the box thinking. Moving away from thoughts that the world is black and white. That very binary, this is either yes or no. Do. I used to be very guilty of this. I was very black and white. It's this or this. And I was very stuck in those stories. It's like, well, this is this. When we want to develop that inner hero, we have to start to be more open-minded. We have to consider and be more flexible in how we think, because that out-of-the-box thinking produces novel solutions. It leads to heroic solutions. Because if you approach a problem with that very binary thinking, black or white, you miss all the solutions in the middle that are gray, a shade of gray. And often it's those solutions in the middle that are totally like, whoa, kind of crazy. That's extraordinary. Their extraordinary solutions are gray. The solutions that actually work are often gray, because they aren't something that came before. They aren't something that is expected. They are something novel that you create in the moment with your intuition, with your courage, with your creativity. I didn't think about it. I just lifted the car off of my brother because he was trapped underneath. That's not a black or white solution. That's a gray solution. So that's where we have these heroic solutions to life. And so really starting to think out of the box, really recognizing and stepping into the presence of the moment, looking at the resources at hand and utilizing them creatively to get results. That's heroism. That is heroism, quintessential heroism. So playing with the idea of truth, being more flexible about what is true. What is true? The person that lifts the car off of their family member doesn't stop to talk themselves out of, well, it's not true that I can do this. They just do it. They act. They do it without going into that black and white, binary, dualistic thinking. All right, number 2, recognition of something bigger and moving into flow with that something bigger. I want to read these 2 quotes from the article. Heroic consciousness is available to us once we realize that choosing to remain unconscious leaves us feeling alone, disconnected, frustrated, and miserable. So yeah, moving into that unity consciousness, that everything is the same, that oneness. Moving into that, because separation is painful. Separation, it hurts us. Separation makes us feel alone. Separation makes us feel like we're taking on the world. We are these tiny little entities taking on this giant world. So recognizing that we are part of a bigger picture and then moving into flow with that. His second quote here is, heroes escape their mental prisons and experience a transformed consciousness when they engage in the process of self-expansiveness, during which the boundaries between oneself and others are perceived as permeable. Now, in the manifesting communities, this is what is known as everyone is you pushed out, which is totally true. Our consciousness creates. So my consciousness is creating my reality. There is nothing outside of my consciousness that exists, right? The version of people that I create, the version of objects that I create, everything that I simulate in my reality is created by me. I am part of that whole, and it is part of me. It's all symbiotic, right? I am it. It is me. That's what everyone is you push down. So the version of me that you are creating right now by watching this video is part of your reality. I exist in my own reality, in my own version. So that's why, yeah, it's so fascinating. So moving into flow with that, then really you can understand this intellectually, but then moving into flow with it, like living from that, that is very empowering. That taking that power back of like, my consciousness is creating all of this. My consciousness is creating all of this, and I have all of the power to tell a different story or reframe something or think more flexibly. Find a shade of gray and move into that and really feel the truth of that. So yeah, that's part of heroic consciousness, because otherwise we feel separated. We don't, we are in spaces of self-preservation, protection, trying to, keep someone away from us, trying to, we isolate. Heroism is moving into these spaces of that unity, of the flow, of when I help someone else, I help myself. When I hate someone else, I hate myself. And really coming to terms with that and living from that in a true place. A true place changes the whole game. The whole game. And the last one is really fun. I kind of like this last one. Discernment of action. So biased, we may in the past have had, up until this very moment, this exact moment when I clarify this, heroes are biased towards action. We have this perception that if you're a hero, you jump in and do something, right? Not necessarily. In the article, this gentleman says, but it seems that there are times when the heroes are indeed bystanders, but it takes enlightened consciousness to discern these moments that call for heroic inaction. This, so the hero versus bystander. Can you still be a hero? Can you still be standing in these places by not taking action? Again, in the manifesting communities, they perpetuate the suggestion of, all of this stuff is in the mind and not needing to do anything outside of yourself. When you are doing something, when you're trying to take action to manipulate your reality, it's something that you perceive as outside of yourself, we're doing it wrong, right? Or that's not the best way. That actually what we need to do is sit with ourselves and change our own simulations. That's what we're doing with manifestation, is realizing that what I'm seeing out there is really a change that needs to occur within here. And so taking the inaction, which takes a lot of bravery because we are used to problem solving, going out in the world, trying to fix things, trying to talk people in and out of things, basing our happiness on what other people are doing or what our situation is or our circumstances, when we can start playing with what is called perceptual positions, moving between hero and bystander, knowing when inaction or action are necessary. And this discernment is very useful, especially with emotions. That's what stop, drop, and roll is you're taking a witness, you're stepping into the bystander. You're literally stepping out of identifying with your own emotions and moving back into a witness position, witnessing your emotions so that you don't identify so heavily with them, so you can release them faster. And so it's actually a spatial perception thing where you're getting closer or farther away to the situation in order to change the outcome, change how you feel about it, and then change the outcome. And this takes bravery, takes courage. It's heroic to not do something. It's heroic to change, trust that just changing your story and how you feel is going to translate to real world solutions. That takes an incredible amount of bravery. And that's what we're learning on this channel. So we're going to keep learning is how to do that. Because sometimes action is called for. Sometimes it feels really good and inspired to do an action, to reach out, to save the baby, to put out the fire, and sometimes, a lot of the times with our own problems, our own life or death. Oh, this is the end of the world. It feels like the end of the world. To actually sit in that feeling and let it pass so that we can move into a space of more solutions. That takes a lot of courage and bravery because it is counterintuitive. It goes against what we have learned and how we have dealt with our lives and how we have problem solved in the past. So let me know what you think. Let me know what you think. I am excited. Leave me some comments. Let me know if you have any better ideas for my tagline. I would love to hear all you wordsmiths out there. If you have any other ideas. But anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks for sticking with me. Let's continue on this hero's journey. We're all on our hero's journey together, right? That is one of the archetypes of life, of being human, is taking the hero's journey. So thanks for watching. Have a great day. Bye.